In the name of Ahmen, the supreme, the all-powerful, the one and only true Lord, and Ahmen we trust as the Republic of Mentellect. The real 144,000 is being gathered in this day and time, the Mentellectuals. It's like to all my Mentellectual brothers and sisters out there, registered members of the Republic of Mentellect, and to all future Mentellectuals that get to find their way home to the Republic of Mentellect, which is Amen's community. I send greetings out to you, and I send peace out to you in our Amenic language by saying to you, good evening, I'm your host, the intellectual leader, MENKARAYZZ, and this is Mentellect Radio. And tonight we're going to be discussing why is Ahmen bringing the elect together in Mentellect. First and foremost, when you see all these things going on, because all this was prophesied that, there'd be mass hysteria, and, all kinds of talk of separation and people going amongst their own and coming onto their own in these last days and these next days to come. And if you're paying attention to what's going on currently in the news, they're more and more they're trying to making it seem like this COVID-19 thing is a so-called black people thing. The more and more they're converting it over into making it seem like it's something, it started off supposedly in Asia. Now all of a sudden they're making a black people disease, a black people virus, same way they did with the AIDS virus. You know what I'm saying? So, expect the backlash in that. But in that, with all this hysteria that's going on, we have to be mindful of something as those who are in a state of evolution. Because, like I said, evolution is happening whether the beast likes it or not, whether black people like it or not. The evolution is happening. The extended change, extended growth, not change, the extended growth into the next level is happening. And certain people are going to evolve onto that level. Others are going to revolve into the same circular mindset. But the beast is more concerned about those who are in a state of mental evolution. And those of you who are in alignment with the beast on this three-dimensional level are more concerned about this evolutionary motion or movement taking place. And this evolutionary movement is a push into the fourth dimension, where all things will be made logical, rational, and in alignment to the extension of what this planet is supposed to be following, which is the Ahmen. This planet being that is under three-dimensional submission of the beast, being that's under three-dimensional submission of the beast, and a lot of you people, show that you're under the three-dimensional submission of the beast in his mindset. And a lot of you carry his mark in your forehead, meaning his philosophies, his ideologies, his belief in his so-called psychiatry and psychological nonsense. A lot of y'all carry his mark in your forehead, meaning that y'all believe the things he said. Like I said, in this day and time, the separation of those type of people from those who are going to carry the mark of Ahmen in their forehead, meaning that we're only going to listen to the transmission of Ahmen that has already been launched. And this is what Mentellect is all about. This is Amen's way of calling the elect together as one community, one covenant. That's what Mentellect is for, to gather us in the three-dimensional state to raise us toward the fourth dimension. That's the whole point of this. There will be no gathering of the elect outside the covenant of Ahmen. There will be none. Why? Because as I said before, and I'll say it again because I wanted to do a definitive broadcast on this, and Ahmen put it on me mentally to do this, to explain to people that, and I say this again, those of you who are not in alignment with the fourth dimension, who are not in alignment with Ahmen, you really don't need to listen to this transmission. You don't need to listen to nothing I say. If this costs me a lot of YouTube listeners, that's fine. Don't listen. I don't want you to listen to me. You should go over and listen to, because you're really listening for nothing. There is no evolution or change without this covenant. There is no evolution or change without Mentellect. There is none. Why? Because Mentellect was delivered from Ahmen. It didn't come from NUBEN and MENKARAYZZ. It was delivered from Ahmen to us to gather under in this third dimension of last days and times that we were being pushed forward into the fourth dimension. The only way that Ahmen will be able to ignite the fourth dimension into being, into a state of total transmission, is if the elect, the 144,000, are gathered in this day and time. As I say, in the opening of our radio broadcast. We are gathering in the 3 dimension for 4th dimensional reception. This is the point. This is our harness point. This is our hive. This is our home. This is how we live in. See, a lot of these people that listen to the message, they think that I'm just up here to blow minds and talk deep. And to a lot of you people who just listen and you on the sidelines and you saying you don't necessarily want to come in the Republic, but you want to still listen to the broadcast, you are the people that are on the 3-dimensional frequency. And a lot of you 3-dimensional people, you really don't want things to evolve. You don't want things to evolve. You want things to get better under the beast, and you want to sit on the sidelines and thinking that this 3-dimensional world, this odd state, this odd world is the correct world that we're supposed to be in, and that's incorrect. That's incorrect. Do you know why? And I was going to do a broadcast on this, but I'm going to just put it all into this broadcast tonight because it needs to be said. Do you know why you so-called black people catch so much hell up under this system, and you'll never understand this? A lot of you so-called pro-blacks, Pan-African, and you keep talking this crap about politics or science or these other things that are supposed to be a solution to so-called black people. The reason why you catch so much hell and the reason why you get locked up in jail and the beast comes down on you is because that is Ahmen using the beast to correct you. That is Ahmen using the beast to correct you. Everything bad that happens to you by the hands of the beast is Ahmen utilizing them to correct you. Why? Because our people being called black people is incorrect. Our people trying to follow the ways of the beast is incorrect. Our people laying with mixing our seed with the beast is incorrect. Our people committing crimes and all kind of other stuff and not keeping the law and order on this planet is incorrect. Our people trying to follow the philosophies of the beast and all this other nonsense, his psychology, his philosophy, his atheism, his religion, everything that you believe in and share with the so-called white man is incorrect. We are not supposed to be in alignment with the 3rd dimension. The 3rd dimension is the odd frequency. The 3rd dimension, because it is an odd number, the number 3 is a odd frequency. I told you all that before. And we are supposed to be gathering under Mentellect, in Mentellect, to bring in the even frequency. A lot of times when you people were asking for equality, you really meant to say supremacy and an even mind frame. You really wanted an even mind frame. You didn't really want so much, you didn't want, how they say, integration with the beast. You wanted, you would have settled for separation and the same equal setting, like say education, business. You would have settled for separation and equality as far as being even. But they didn't want to do that because they know once they put you on that level with them even, and that puts you in alignment, they start to align you up with the 4th dimension. And once they line you up in the 4th dimension, you will excel past them. They know that. They know that naturally you will excel past them as it's supposed to be. That's part of nature. That's part of nature. Real nature is that the genetically dominant, which is us to this day. The beast will never argue that. The genetically dominant, right, because of our dark skin, as you said, our woolly hair, the genetically dominant come to power. They will come to prominence when they are in alignment with the dimension they're supposed to be in alignment with. The dimension that they're supposed to be in alignment with is the 4th dimension. But a lot of you still want to embrace the odd frequency of the 3rd. You still want to embrace the ways of the beast. And many have to be corrected, even unto death. Many have to be corrected or be put into the service of the beast and pretty much destroyed under the beast. And many of you that's happening to a lot of you right now. Those who are joining this community of Mentellect, let it be known that you're not joining an organization. You're joining a community that's organized. There's a difference. You're not joining an organization. You're joining a community that's organized, and that's too much for you because community means communication, higher communication. Community brings about higher communication. And higher communication is the more minds that are in alignment to this higher state, working to come into alignment with the 4th dimension, bringing everything into an even keel or even state, which will put us in a state of supremacy because 4 will always be over 3, and 4 is the proper transmission, the proper transmissive state for us to be coming from, to be receiving from. This is what we're being gathered for in this day and time, so that we can receive reception, so that we can bring in the reality of the fourth dimension. The only reason that Ahmen is not transmitting, or Ahmen is not fully transmitting fourth dimensional transmission into his atmosphere, is because Ahmen is waiting for the elect to line up to receive it, because it has to be first received by the elect. And the elect will be like I want to say, like antennas. The elect will be like antennas that bounce this frequency all over the planet. This is why it says in your revelation that your elect will be in all four corners of the earth, because they represent the antennas, the live antennas that will bounce this frequency of Mentellect through all four corners of the earth. You represent those antennas, you see. So when the antennas are being installed, same way the beast installed his fiber optics, his cable, his 5G network, his towers, we represent the towers of Ahmen. We represent the high mental towers of Ahmen. Ahmen is installing us by giving us this transmission. Those who are receiving this transmission and who are coming into alignment and Mentellect in this community, you represent the towers that are being put up, the live towers, the walking towers, the receptionary towers, the mental towers that are being put up to carry these messages. Because once we receive these messages of Mentellect, that means that the vibration, tone, and frequency of transmission is being raised on this planet. Why? Because we're going to have the highest frequency and the highest transmission on the planet. You tell me now, who could touch Mentellect? Who could touch Mentellect? You tell me. So you imagine 144,000 people transmitting Mentellect. See, I told you, again, as I am being raised to give you this message and share with you in these last days and times, these next days to come, like I said, you all are going to be charged with the frequency in alignment with the 144,000. That is not going to go outside this community. It is not. I don't care how much you listen to me, how much you repeat what I say. It don't matter. You're not counted amongst the elect. Those of you on the outside are not counted amongst the elect. And those of you who are fake in here, who are walking amongst me, who are nothing but a bunch of paying fans, you're not going to be counted amongst the elect. So, again, we tell all the real people, because people will think, oh, he's just saying because he wants people. No. We want the right people in alignment. I want the right people in place, the right receivers in place to receive this transmission, because this is happening whether you like it or not, whether the beast likes it, whether you niggas like it, because a lot of you niggas don't want to see this fourth dimension come in. You don't. A lot of y'all still want to sit up here and quote the white man and quote science and his science and his philosophy and his psychiatry. A lot of you still want to sit around and read his stupid books, right, and believe anything he say. A lot of you still want to be metaphysicians. A lot of you still want to talk this nonsense and this foolishness from the beast. Like I said, y'all vibrate on the third dimension, and that's fine. That's the odd state. You vibrate on the third dimension, this emotional state. You have become emotionally attached to the one who is keeping you in a state of revolution, the beast. You have become detached. You have become attached to him, mentally attached to him. That's what it means also when it says that you are going to have the mark of the beast on you. You see, that's what that means. You are attached to their philosophies. You can't think for yourself. You believe whatever they tell you. You believe and you follow whatever they tell you. And I see it more and more every day, especially with the advent of this COVID-19 thing. How many of you so-called black people are just a bunch of damn zombies right along with the white man? Y'all a bunch of damn mental three-dimensional zombies. And see, Ahmen wants to pull us apart from that. Ahmen wants to pull the elect, the ones who are being elected and selected to come out of the carbon-based dead thinkers. The three-dimensional ones, the ones who are going to be pulled out. We're being selected out. And you still got people acting like this is some kind of organization. Like I said, joining it like it was an organization instead of a community. You still got people who want to bring their black nonsense in here, their Pan-African nonsense in here, their Egyptology nonsense in here. We don't care about none of that. The people who want to bring that garbage and that foolishness with them, they're going to be asked to leave. The people who want to come here with that, we ask you not to come. Don't write your letters. We don't want you with us. You stay with the old black race in the three dimension where you belong. You stay with the old black race in the three dimension where you belong. the dead black race, the ones who want this odd frequency to continue, the niggas that's walking around here confused, bugged out of their mind, want to keep going in the same rotation, right? You people got emotional issues, right? Mental issues. We don't want you. We don't want the people who got emotional and mental issues. We only want the ones who are able to be salvaged, meaning saved mentally, salvaged for fourth dimensional transmission. This is what we want. This is all we're here for. We ain't here for everybody. We're not here to convince. And like I said, so ever so often I have to do this to remind people, to remind those who are listening, right, but are not really hearing, to remind them what this really is. Because again, a lot of our people are saying, but you're really not hearing, or you're not really hearing what's being said. You're not paying attention. This is not a game. This is not a game. When you come to this thing, you better come to it for life, or don't come to it at all. If you are not coming to this thing for life, to live this, because again, this is not something we trying out, because you niggas love to play with stuff. You love to play with it. I'm going to join, see what's good. I don't like it, I'm going to leave. Again, y'all love to play with stuff. Don't play with this. Don't join. We don't want you here. We ain't trying to solicit for membership. I'll close the doors before that happens. I don't want people soliciting membership. We ain't soliciting for membership. We are looking for those who belong here, who are of the elect. This ain't like them old black organizations where, you could just come in and join, and, and if you mess up, you could come back. We don't want you back once you mess up. You only get one chance. We don't want you back. You belong to the black race. Because if you receive this transmission, this high frequency, high functioning transmission that's putting everything correct, logically putting everything correct in our minds, and you reject it for this odd world of the beast, this three-dimensional world of the beast, you want to pull that back in, then we tell you to get from amongst us. Go with where you belong. Go amongst the beast where you belong. Go with him where you belong. We are working to harness that mental energy so that we can pull in more and more pictures, because as we're pulling in more pictures, more images, more frequency, more transmission, telepathy, psychometry, clairvoyance, intuition, all this, we're pulling in more of this and whatnot, our power will start to become stronger. But we need serious-minded people for that. We don't need people here who are playing games, man. We don't need people here joining as an organization, and then these simple-minded people sit up here and get mad after a while and start talking about, this, that, and the third. No, again, they want the three-dimensional world. If you want the three-dimensional world, then stay in the three-dimensional world. But let it be known, under the three-dimensional world, that is where you are under the three-dimensional world as two-dimensional people. Because in the three-dimensional world is a place for people to gather. The two-dimensional world is a world of individuality, aka bipolar, bi-two. Again, the two-dimensional world is a world of nations, communities, collective people coming together. That's what the three dimension is for. The two dimension is for individuality. And the fourth dimension is for straight personification of power. The fourth dimension is for straight personification of power. Because that's where true rulership, that's where true judgment will take place. That's where the seat of power given unto the elect in the fourth dimension. And we are moving toward that right now. The beast knows. They already know. If you ever think, NUBEN saying this, he just making this up, I don't think what NUBEN is saying is true, that's fine. Don't listen to me. I told you that. I don't want you to. If you don't think what I'm saying is real, and you're waiting for the white man to back me up, and you're waiting to see what white people got to say about it, or some white scientists or whatnot, stop listening to me, because a lot of you are already programmed on that low-level frequency already, and we don't want any low-level frequency carrying people with us. We don't want that. We don't want that. More and more, I'm making this community, I'm working to constantly make this community exclusive. Not inclusive, but exclusive, meaning we picking and choosing. Right? And we put things in place to keep people out and to bring the right people in. We do that because, again, it's all about harnessing mental power. We want the sharpest knives in alignment. We want the sharpest knives in alignment. We want the sharpest knives in alignment to this higher state of transmission, this fourth dimensional transmission. This is what we want. We don't want people who are here trying something out, who here because they just a bunch of fans and need MENKARAYZZ, a bunch of paying fans. We don't want that. People who don't intend to live in this community and live this way of life, who just playing. Because again, you so-called black people are nothing but folly. Y'all nothing but y'all got nothing but folly demons on y'all. Y'all don't take nothing seriously. You don't even take yourself seriously. So you won't take this community seriously. So I'm gonna say this again: stay out. We don't want you with us. Those of you who and you people who listen to the message, I'd rather it be 5 or 10 people that's really listening to the message who's sincere, than 100 or 200 people or 300 people that are listening, or thousands of people are listening and they're not sincere. I mean, we want the people that's going to listen, the ones who have been looking for this. But like I said, if you still listening after 2 or 3 years and you ain't come into this and you need to go ahead and stop listening. You better off listening to one of them guys from the conscious thing. You better off listening to that, or go listen to some conspiracy theory talk. You better off listening to that. That's more your speed. You better off listening to that 3-dimensional chatter from these niggas that follow the beast, man. And I don't care who they are. Because if they're not talking about the 4th dimension, even these niggas that's talking this 5th-dimensional garbage, you're doing nothing but trying to add some more odd frequency on top of the beast's 3rd-dimensional crap. You ain't doing nothing else but trying to do that. Just working to cause confusion. Because a lot of you are on that confusion vibe with the beast. A lot of you follow an alignment with him to cause confusion. You see, we don't want you with us neither. So because, again, you niggas think that your money can buy you into this covenant and in this community, and that, it's just about money, and NUBEN just want money. I don't want your money. I have to keep periodically saying that just so that you don't forget. I don't like to take anything from you. I don't want anything from you all if you're not of the elect. If you're not of the elect, we don't want you here. This is a place for those who are looking to channel into the 4th dimension to come. This is what we want. We want those who are looking to channel into the 4th dimension collectively within this community, within this covenant, because that's what it's going to take for us to get to the 4th dimension. It's going to take the elect in alignment, living this life, who's serious about this, who don't plan on going nowhere. That's what it's going to take. The ones who are looking to continuously evolve in this transmission of Ahmen into the 4th dimension, becoming the Ahmen, because that's what we are becoming more and more every day. We are becoming the Ahmen. Like I said, you so-called black people, we don't look at y'all the same no more. Those of you who walk in, we don't look at black people the same no more. We don't look at white people the same. We don't look at people the same no more. You shouldn't be. We see you just as what you are, on your way out, played out, played out, played out. We see the transition, the rotative transmission of what's taking place with you people. That's why it's easy to see you all for what you are more and more. You're becoming more and more transparent as time goes. That double-minded mentality is going to become more and more apparent in those of you who have not chosen this as your final path. This is supposed to be those of you who are of the elect. This path into the 4th dimension is your final path. It is your only path. If you do not see it this way, then don't come here. If you think you got other alternatives, then go to your other alternatives, because that's where you belong. I know I've said this before, but I have to always reiterate this time and time again, because we're coming into the 3rd decade of the 21st century. We're coming into the 3rd decade. And this is going to be a very powerful decade, 2021 and going forward. It's going to be a very powerful decade. And we don't want people moving with us who are not serious people who are not going to be here to stay, people who are not going to be in alignment, people who want to just try it out. And after a year or 2, I'm tired, I don't want to do this no more. If you feel like that, you got those feelings like that, I say those who are amongst me, leave now. Leave out the door now. Fade to black. Just take your page down. I don't want to see you no more. And I'm saying that because I don't want the counterfeit people here. I want the real people here. Again, if I'm saying this with such great vigor, with such great, focus, is because I want to bring the elect, the true ones here, the real ones here who are supposed to be here, and I want to get rid of the phony ones, because I know the phony ones will slow our transmission down. The weak-minded ones will slow down the transmission. We don't want the weak-minded here. We don't want the indecisive here. We don't want the ones who wondering about what the other alternative could be. There's no other alternative. We don't want the ones here who believe that you got freedom of thought. You ain't got no freedom of thought. There's no freedom. Everything costs. There's no such thing as free. Free cost. Free cost. free yourself means to you have a choice. We have no choice. Either we're going to live, right, in a state of constant evolution, or we're going to live under someone. That's what, when we say freeing yourself, we free our minds into a higher state, but still in all, that costs to do that. It costs our time, our energy, our effort, money, everything to free ourselves to a higher state. But there is no freedom as opposed to, I don't want to do this, I don't want... No, whatever you do is what you're supposed to do. If you're meant to go the wrong way, then that means you just chalked up as one of the rest of the zeros that meant to go the wrong way. If you were meant to go the right way and you stay on that path and that was the right path for you, that's the right way. So that we being into higher states of who we're going to go, or you're going to be let down into lower states of where you belong. Either you're going to go where you're supposed to go, or you're going to go where you belong. Those who go where they belong, you're just going to, even if you're on vacation for a while from the two-dimensional state, like I told you, you're going to revisit that. You're going to eventually make your way back there where you belong, up under the three-dimensionals. You see, we are gathering in the light of the third dimension right now. We are gathering within the light of the third dimension so that we can receive this enlightenment from the fourth dimension. Right? We are gathering as the elect in the three dimension so that we can receive this enlightenment from the fourth. Enlightenment from the fourth, excuse me. This is what we're gathering for. Those of you who still have a attachment for the three-dimensional world, you need to be where you belong. You need to be where you attach to. Those of you who don't want to sacrifice that three-dimensional world, and like I said, you represent the people who look back, that left out of, I always say, this that biblical story, the people that left out of the land, what was the land of Nod? What was the land of? And they kept looking back. Lot, wife, and all that, they kept looking back. You represent those people, man. You would think after everything our people been through here under the beast, the fact that we have to take orders from these beast people, these animal people, you would think that you would want to get into alignment so that we can go in our proper place and be in alignment with Ahmen to be in that seat of power. You would think you want that, but y'all don't want that. You still want to be in alignment with the beast. So we say, go be in alignment with the beast. That's why I say I don't care if the black woman lay with the white man or have children with them. I don't care. They belong to the beast anyway. I don't care if the black man want to lay with the white woman and go and be alone. We ain't got no concern about none of this. None. Absolutely none. All it does is remind us where we don't belong. Because no matter how much you, because notice how I kept pointing out when I did the broadcast on the black misleaders, when I did that broadcast. Notice how I pointed out all the things that these so-called black conscious, black power, black YouTube celebrities be talking about. And I said, yeah, some of their stuff is entertaining. I like their stuff. But I showed you in the long run, nothing they say makes sense. Nothing they say makes sense. And the reason why it doesn't make sense is because they are under the beast. They are under the odd frequency. And nothing in the odd frequency will ever make sense. You're going to talk about white supremacy and the system of white supremacy, but then you're going to turn around and talk about voting to fight the system of white supremacy, and voting is controlled by white supremacy. You're going to talk about chase more money, and the money is controlled by white supremacy. And I said, realistically and logically, that can't help our people evolve to another state. But y'all not even thinking about evolution. You're thinking about things just getting better. You don't want things to evolve or to grow to another state. You just want things to get better. You want things to, basically change for the better. You want things to change for the better. Ahmen don't want things to change for the better. Ahmen wants things to evolve from where this is at. This planet works on a time of evolution. This planet works on a time frame of evolution. This planet works on a continuous time frame of evolution. This is why you had a time where there were dinosaurs here. Now you don't see them no more. This is where you had certain animals here. You don't see them no more. You have certain nations here. You don't see them no more. They come and they go. That represents the evolution. So now the next evolution is coming in, and Ahmen is selecting those who are going to be here to come and those who are going to go. Those who are going to come into full-on power, and this is what we're trying to align ourselves with as a community, because this is what Ahmen commands of us, that we come together collectively under one mind, one body, one mind, one body, one soul, one etheric connection, that we become one. This is what Ahmen is demanding of us, not people thinking this way, but then the other people thinking that way. All that's going to come to an end. Because right now, it's rare that you ever see that our people have come together in a state where, we're not being given no philosophy by the beast. This is all transmission directly from Ahmen, from the Creator. This is all live transmission directly from Ahmen, from the Creator. The law and the order, a.k.a. the Lord, the supreme law and order, the most highest law and order coming directly from the Ahmen to us in this day and time who are the Ahmen, from Ahmen to Ahmen. This is why we're being gathered in Mentellect. Those who are mentally in alignment, those who are mentally chosen to receive this transmission, because so many of us could be out here right now, and you miss this transmission. A lot of people are missing out on it. A lot of people are just going to pass over. And the reason why Ahmen will allow this transmission to pass over those who will be able to hear it, but they won't be able to listen to it, maybe paying attention to it, they will not be able to receive it, is because in this transmission, it is meant to, when you're able to receive it, it is meant to raise you to a certain level where you start to see things because you're being given glimpses into the future. So when you receive this transmission and you're being given glimpses in the future and your life is being altered by things out of the blue, which the Ahmen are giving to you, it happens like that because this transmission is only going to be for those who are part of that future prophecy, part of that future world that's coming. Those of you who are being given glimpses of it and come here and are being allowed to see it, you are part of that future world to come. And those who are not being given it, you're not a part of it. You're not. That's why I don't get bent out of shape when I hear these simple-minded black people talking a bunch of foolishness and stupidity, or they would speak against Mentellect, or they say, I ain't saying what I'm saying, but they won't never challenge it. And like I said, we're not even in the time to challenge nobody no more. It's done. All the challenges and the debates are over with. You can't debate evolution. You cannot debate extension, and you can't debate evolution. You can't. You can debate revolution all day. But we're not in a state of revolution because revolution is only confined to the three-dimensional realm. Revolution is only confined to the three-dimensional realm. Revolution is only confined to the three-dimensional realm. And those who are of the elect, we are not confined to the three-dimensional realm. We are being moved into the fourth dimension. We realize the revolutionary thinking, the double-minded thinking, the indecisive thinking, the confused thinking for what it is. We recognize it for those who have opened their minds or still have their minds open to this three-dimensional world of the beast, this world of confusion. Those of you who still got your minds, you have to close your minds to that. You have to close your minds to him because that's the only way Ahmen will open up to us with live feed and transmission collectively as a community when we close our minds to him, when we close our minds to the beast, when we close our minds to his philosophy, his psychology, his psychiatry, all his BS, all his watered down BS. When we close our minds to that, Ahmen will further open up our minds to the reality of who we are and who we are becoming. And see, many people don't want that. I said this to somebody earlier. I said many of these so-called black people, they want to stay within the third world of the three-dimensional world of this odd transmission. They want to stay with it. They want to live in this odd world. They want to live in this off world. They want to live in this odd world of homosexuals, lesbians, child molesters, all this madness that's illogical, unnatural. They want to stay here. They under the control of the beast. See, in the fourth dimension, none of that exists. There's no homosexuality in the fourth dimension. There's no race mixing in the fourth dimension. There's no confusion in the fourth dimension. There's no double-mindedness or indecisiveness in the fourth dimension. That's not real for us. In the fourth dimension, that's not even real. And the fourth dimension is the real world. The fourth dimension is the real world. This, what we are experiencing now, this madness going on around us, where you got people who are walking around. You got people that are walking around with goddamn face mask on, believe in this nonsense, right? People who are not thinking, people who would rather believe than think. People who would rather believe than think. Believe than think. They're the ones running around with the mask on and all this other stuff, because again, that just goes to show you that they are not in alignment. They are not in alignment. They jumped quickly within that frequency of the beast and started following everything the beast said. So that shows you who their God really is. That shows you who they bear witness to. And those are the people who are going to go with the beast. Those are the people who carry his mark. Those are the people who will be kept outside of Mentellect. Those are the people who this is not for. We only want the people who are of this message, not the ones who are not. We only want the people who are mentally sound, who are mentally fit. We don't want the dysfunctional people. We don't. If you cannot be salvaged, again, you got to want to help yourself. If you cannot be salvaged and whatnot, and you got too much of a problem mentally, we tell you, then go someplace else, man. We ain't got time to deal with people who are going to constantly weigh on us as mentally indigent, people who are not able to move past their three-dimensional state of confusion, their odd frequency, the people who are not able to move past their odd frequency, because the problems that you had in your life, all the problems, the perceived problems that you ever had from picking the right kind of guy or girl to be with, from, whatever confusion you had, whatever problems you had, notice that all that came under the odd frequency of the three dimension. So none of those problems were even real. None of those problems that you came across in the three-dimensional realm were even real, because there was always a solution. Today, we have the solution through Mentellect. Today, we have the ongoing solution for any problem through Mentellect. We have that. We have that ongoing solution. You see, to stay in alignment with this transmission, to come together as a community, the power is in the collective mind who are pushing toward the fourth dimension. The power is in the collective minds of those who are pushing toward the fourth dimension. I need my collective minds who are coming together in Mentellect, who are gathering in this three-dimensional realm in Mentellect as a community, as a collective body, to actively push past the three dimension and into the fourth dimension as one mind. One mind, one body, one soul, one ether of people, one etheric transmission of people as one, and to think and push past it in a state of rulership. Because when we push past the three-dimensional realm, when we come together and gather in the three-dimensional realm as the elect, pushing forward into the fourth dimension, pushing forward, meaning fourth dimension, forward into the fourth dimension, and we're pushing forward as the elect, as the chosen, then it will become reality. It will become reality. It will start to make an impression, and it will be laid in stone. How do they say, as you think, so you shall become? Well, the only true thinking is done on the fourth dimension. That's the only true thinking. Everything that's being done here is based on belief. Everything that's being done here in the third dimension is based on belief. It is not based on any real thinking at all. Right? At all. The identities that people have is based on belief. It's not based on reality or fact. Black, white, African, Europe, that's all belief, man. That's nothing but a bunch of beliefs that were a bunch of man-made beliefs. It's not based on logic and rationale, because, again, there was a time where there was none of these things, and there'll be a time where there's none of these things, again, these names that don't exist again, and there'll be a whole bunch of next-level names, new names, next-level names, and whatnot. So all these things are replaceable. All things that are not real are replaceable. The fourth dimension is not replaceable. The third dimension is. And it's going to be replaced by the fourth dimension. A lot of you people don't want to see that come in, because that's where true law, true order, and true judgment are going to be set in stone. And the elect are going to be placed in power. And it's going to be hell on earth. It is going to be pure hell on earth. And a lot of you are going to learn to embrace that pure hell on earth. Why do I say it's going to be hell on earth? Because you're going to see people being instantaneously judged by the power of Ahmen through the fourth dimension. People are going to be straight up judged. There ain't going to be no meandering around and people running around here with odd thoughts and whatnot, setting off the frequency and the vibration of this planet as we're going into the fourth dimension, because this planet is scheduled and slated to move into the fourth dimension. This planet is scheduled and slated to move into the fourth dimension. And those who are not in alignment with that, you're going to be destroyed under it. You're going to be destroyed genetically under it by having your bloodline mixed out with the beast. You're going to be destroyed under it by having your line cut with Ahmen. You're going to be destroyed under it by whatever the beast chooses to do with you. Because those of you who heard this message and you chose to ignore it, again, you didn't do anything wrong. You did right, because you're ultimately going to go where you belong. If it's not here, then you're going to go. But what you will be judged for is playing around and wasting time. You will be judged for that. Because I warned everybody that came here that heard this message from day one, I am not here as a radio personality. I am not here to be your friend. I am not here to answer your goddamn questions. I am not here to be your guru. Don't call asking me no questions about something stupid I'm not interested in. Sometimes I will humor you and do that only because for the show's, benefit and we doing that. But I don't really want to answer no questions. Not for real. Not from you outsiders. I don't really want to answer no questions because you should already know what this is, because the questions you're asking are trivial. You're asking me trivial questions. The answer is always going to be Mentellect in the fourth dimension, no matter what. The answer is always going to be Mentellect, Ahmen in the fourth dimension. That's it. That's all my answer is to everything. I don't care. Oh, you see spirits and ghosts and apparitions. Yeah. Ahmen, Mentellect in the fourth dimension. I don't care about nothing else you're talking about. Because you're talking about foolishness and stupidity. Thinking about things like this is not going to move us forward into the fourth dimension. And that's where the true power is. I'm not interested in you standing around these people meandering around about their little three-dimensional fantasies and dreams and all their spiritual garbage. I'm not interested in that. I don't want to hear it. I'm not here to listen to that garbage. Because that's all it is, garbage. Not here to listen to your little fears and things like this. We don't feed into fear. We don't feed into fear. We are Ahmen. That's it. We are Ahmen. We are Ahmen. And Ahmen is raising the Ahmen in this third dimensional state. The Ahmen are raising the Ahmen in this three-dimensional state. We're being brought into alignment as the fourth. We're being told, transmitted to go forward, out of the blue, into the deeper stages of blue. We're being pulled into the blue. That state of mental transmission and power. The exchange. The mental exchange. We are being given the mental exchange with our future self. Our future minds are swapping out with our present day minds. And that's only going to happen as we are gathering in the three dimension. As we're gathering in the state of people. We're gathering in the state of people as a people, not as individuals. There's no gathering in the three dimensions as individuals. There's only gathering in the three dimensions as people, as a collective body. And then that's where we receive the power from. That's where we become the personifications of power going forward in the fourth dimension. A lot of us are starting to go through that right now. A lot of us are starting to feel the transmission go down, and this transmission is coming down upon us, coming in and pulling us up and out. A lot of our people are going to say, I want to get off this ride. I want to get off this ride. I want to get off this ride because I belong to the third dimension. I belong to the third dimension. You'll be saying that. I want to be up under the third dimension. But you'll try to play like, I'm down with the fourth dimension, but I just didn't want to be down with the Republic of Mentellect and what NUBEN talking about. That's fine. You could be under that delusional world that you're in the fourth dimension all you want to, or the fifth, or the sixth, or the 20th dimension, wherever you believe. I don't care. We don't care. But we know the reality. We know the reality, and the reality is going to slap you right in your face over and over and over again. This is the time of revelation and reality right here. And the people who are not getting that revelation, the people who are not receiving that reality, you belong to the 3 dimension. The people who still focusing on this nonsense and foolishness and whatnot, this double-mindedness, you belong in the 3-dimensional world. That's where you belong. Because if you were given a glance or vision into, if you were given a vision or a glance into the future world, then that was the path that you were supposed to move by. Nothing else. I tell people all the time, the people whoever question me, that I said, whatever path you on, that's where you belong. Whatever path was presented for you, that's where you belong. There's no freedom. Whatever path you on, that's where you belong. If it's meant for you to get kicked out into the 3rd dimension and go into the 2nd dimension, that's where you ultimately belong. That's your path. If it's meant for you to come into the 4th dimension and raise up and become part of that power, that personification of Ahmen, then that's where you belong. There's no alternating current. Just go with the current. That's all. We'll be right back. It is key to understand that this evolution is for you, about you. This revelation is for you, about you. You have all longed to be the rulers of the next world. Those of you who are of the elect, you were brought here to be the rulers of the next world. You were put in position, you were born into this time as people from the last millenniums who ruled in the past. And Ahmen is bringing you forward again with a clean slate mentally to rule again in the 4th dimension, but it is being demanded that you come into this 3-dimensional state collectively with a clean slate, meaning a clean mind, meaning that all of the things you thought you knew, all of the things that you thought mattered, all of the things that you put too much focus and energy on is now going to be replaced by something greater, by something much greater that the world has never seen before. And that is the opening of Mentellect. That is the opening of Mentellect. Those who are being raised to receive 4th dimensional transmission of mind, body, soul, etheric transmission. Those who are going to be mentally charged directly by Ahmen, not alternately by Ahmen like the beast has been charged, because again, his current has always been alternating in the 3-dimensional realm. His current has always been alternating. The world has never seen the transmission of Ahmen directly to those people or those personifications on earth. The world has never seen a power so great. The beast is, he's already seeing visions of it already. That's why when you see movies like X-Men or these superhero movies, or you seen that big commercial where it showed you the bronze man flying to the mountain and the humans running on all fours. Again, all fours, 4th dimension. What they showing you when you saw the humans running on all fours was meaning this is how they're really seen in the 4th dimension as animals, showing them being running on all fours to the highest point on the earth, that mountain, and the bronze man flying it. Why do you think they're showing you all this and they're banging all of this superhero stuff and all these advanced things? Because they're letting you know that in these images they're showing you that are coming out of the blue to them mentally, that it is really transmission that Ahmen is sending you of who the elect are going to be and how they're going to be, how they're going to have that power. And those of you who can acknowledge that you are a part of that power, that you are a part of that 4th dimension, you are coming here for the evolution of you. You're not coming here for the evolution of me. You're not helping me. You're helping you. Those of you who are here in this community, you're only helping you get to the greater version and the greater vision of you. If Ahmen sends you that message of where you belong, then you go to where they send you. You do not question it. You go. You go. It is the only path for you. You go. If Ahmen is sending you that message to leave, then go. Leave. You don't belong here. I tell people to go wherever you are being mentally guided to go. But you better make sure that it's of Ahmen. Because those who know they're here to stay, they don't get those voices in their head. Is this where I belong? You don't get them voices. They know this where they belong. Those who are Ahmen know they belong here. And they don't get those voices. The ones who get those voices, Those are the ones who are being called to go back to where they belong in the three-dimensional realm under the beast. See, that's the open door for them to leave and never to return. They belong to the beast. And I told you before, you so-called black people who are in the under the three-dimensional transmission of the beast, you're going to start going crazy right now. And the reason why I'm going to allow a lot of you to be born under this three-dimensional transmission is because you're going to be destroyed under it. You represent the sacrifice, meaning the willing offering of what it is that we must give up, as I said before, in order for us to go into the fourth dimension. I don't care if it's your family members, your friends, whatever. If they're meant to be sacrificed, then that's what it is. That's what it is. If people who come in here who don't make it and they fade to black, they were meant to be part of the sacrifice for greater enlightenment, for greater extension. They're meant to be part of the sacrifice because Ahmen will remove anyone who is not of that greater extension, who is not of that enlightenmental perception. We are going to receive vision 10 million times brighter than the sun, right? As they say. Meaning that we'll be able to see through everything. Everything will become transparent over time. We will get a first and only sense into everything. We will be able to see everything. We will be able to know everything as it is coming to us. And we will be able to know it on deeper levels. You see, we will know it on deeper levels. Everything from people, place, and possession, we will know because it will carry the power of Ahmen. And anything that carries the power of Ahmen, be it through creation, be it through projection, we will know it. We will be able to differentiate. I said, though the one who truly taught you the meaning of good and evil was me. I was the only one that taught you that. I was the only one that taught you that they're the same thing and that they're needed as an engine or a motor to drive us into the fourth dimension, that it is only meant to be an alternating current for the third dimension. That's the true meaning of good and evil, positive and negative, and polarity. And those of us who are moving above and beyond that, where we no longer question anything anymore, we already know that this is where we're supposed to be. That's it. You're going to have the greatest and the supremest clarity of them all because you have already made your decision. Not that it was even really a decision. You've already made your acceptance of who you are and who you came here to be. See, because a lot of times when you think you're making a decision in life, do I belong here, do I not? You're not really making a decision. You're fighting with the fact of whether you're willing to accept it or not. See, because a lot of you are not willing to accept it because with that acceptance comes great responsibility. You can't be the same old person you was anymore. You can't have them same old excuses of being absent-minded, simple-minded, irresponsible. You see, you can't do that no more. And to some people, that's scary. More is going to be expected of you by way of Ahmen. More is going to be expected of you by way of Ahmen, and within this community, more is going to be expected of you. And a lot of you don't want to rise to that occasion because you used to being niggas. You used to being shiftless. You used to being indecisive. You used to being irresponsible. You used to being wherever the day take me people, being on that white people frequency, that human frequency, that absent-minded nigga mentality. I'm just here in the world, and whatever happens is what happens, and there's no God. You niggas start talking, there is nothing, we're just here, and it just, talking like that, talking, YOLO, you only live once, you mentally dead, the mentally dead people who talk like that. Life is a party, and, in this three-dimensional world, you just jump into the low current, because like a lot of you so-called black females and you males, you just jump into the current. You just jump into the current of this frequency. When I say you jump into the current, meaning whatever madness is going on at this given moment, you niggas jump right into it with the beast. You jump in feet first into this current with the beast. If the black woman is wearing a damn blonde wig on her head, you nigga women to put it right on your head like all the rest because you jumped into the current, not thinking how ridiculous you look, how simple-minded you look. You ain't thinking about that. You just jump right into the current of that, right into the frequency of that. That's what you do. You just jump right into the current and into the frequency of that. You're not thinking beyond that. Why? Because, again, you're not meant to. You're closed off to that. Those of you who had vision into that, and those of you whose vision was closed off to that, your vision got closed off because you look back. That's another thing. What happens with them people who want to continue to look back, second guess, the door will eventually close off to you. Because all the time you spend in looking back and second guessing yourself and thinking to yourself, it's the time you're cutting your transmission. That is the time you spend cutting your transmission. That is the time you spend cutting yourself off from this transmission. I told you before, more and more people are going to start listening to this message because as we're moving into the third decade of this new millennium, more and more people are going to be seen as, lacking in what the people are going to ultimately start to look for, which is higher mental guidance. People are going to start to look for higher mental guidance, and they're going to find their way to Mentellect. People are going to be looking for a black and white. They're going to stumble across this. It ain't going to just be so-called black people. It's going to be white, Asian, everybody's going to stumble across Arabs. They're going to stumble across this message, looking for future guidance. They all are. And they're going to hear the wisdom in these words, the logic in these words, and they're going to know that it's not coming from man on earth. It is not coming from man on earth. It is coming from personifications in the future, in the fourth dimension, who have always been sending us transmission, but we have ignored it. Because we are in that three-dimensional state, because our people are under this three-dimensional state of emotion, it is considered an odd frequency to the elect. It is an odd frequency that they can't transmit through. They're not going to transmit to people who carry an odd frequency, an emotional frequency. They're not going to transmit to them. They need people whose thinking is going to line up with the logical transmission that they send, the people who are willing to accept that which logically makes sense and where they see themselves going. Second guess. There is no second guess. There is no guess. There's an order that goes out, and we are to follow that order to the letter. There's an order that goes out, and we are to follow that order to the letter. Again, this broadcast is not for entertainment purposes. It is not. The purpose of this broadcast and the purpose for this community is to give us a place of communication amongst the elect in reception to the transmission of Ahmen, to make us or give us greater clarity on the reception that Ahmen is sending here, and that Ahmen will intensify and increase. All right? Ahmen will intensify and increase that transmission to those who are in a concentrated order, in a concentrated structure. And I'm talking about a mental order and a mental structure, a intelligence community. Right? People who are mentally in alignment to receive that. That's why Ahmen is transmitting. Again, Ahmen is for the intelligent. Ahmen is not for the believers. God is for the believers. Ahmen is for the intelligent. Ahmen is for the intelligent, and Ahmen is the only true and real law and order, a.k.a. the Lord. The only true law and order is Ahmen. Ahmen decides everything, because do they not say everything is about natural law and natural order, meaning the planet and everything? Because if everything is about natural law and natural order, seasons, everything that governs this planet, the ecology of this planet, who is that controlled by? It's not controlled by man. Is it not? It's not controlled by man. Natural law and natural order is not controlled by man. As they just like they say, natural disasters could happen. Natural disasters, there is a natural law and a natural order, and this is what we are being brought into alignment with, to be given the power to wield by way of judgment. Ahmen is bringing us in alignment with that. That's what the elect are being brought forward for, to come into alignment with natural law and natural order. meaning that those who are the greatest mental receivers of Amen's transmission, of those who projected and created everything here, the greatest receivers of it, the greatest receptors of it, the greatest transmitters of it, the greatest ones who are able to carry it, are supposed to be the ruling body and the true law and order on earth. They're supposed to be the final word. And see, that's not happening because the beast, the ones who are getting alternating current from Ahmen, because again, that's how their transmission comes in, through alternating current, meaning through split decisions, meaning through positive and negative. You know how the beast got y'all to think on a split mindset, on a split decision mindset, on an indecisive mindset, how the beast got y'all thinking? Or could it be this way, or could it be that way? No, Ahmen is not sending transmission to them anymore. Ahmen is trying to send transmission to those who are able to receive one order, one law, and that's it. What to do, the elect are going to be told what to do, and they're going to follow out the order to the letter directly from Ahmen. Ahmen is going to give it directly to them. I am just the open door to that, and so much more. And like I said, don't care who don't acknowledge it. Don't care who don't listen to it. Don't care who don't accept it. Don't care. It's not our concern. We don't want the people here who are not attached to that. We don't want them. This frequency and this transmission is coming open right now. It's unveiling itself right now. It's revealing itself right now. And is revealing people who are not in alignment with it, which will be the many. They will show themselves to be that. Not in alignment. They will show themselves to be of the regular, the regulated, the rotative. They will show themselves. We have to keep in mind that as time is moving and we are being gathered in an even greater precision and a greater, exactness of, who this is supposed to go to, that the transmission of this fourth dimensional state, which is Mentellect, the fourth dimensional transmission, is throwing things ahead of us and putting things ahead of us where we're supposed to walk into these things that are being put ahead of us. I said, our life is laid out in front of us, and we have to walk down that path. Some of you are going to walk down that path to nowhere. Some of you are going to walk on that continual path, constantly going forward into the fourth dimension. Either way, you don't have a choice. Some are just going to not be part of the path and whatnot, and they're going to be delusional in the fact that they think they're going to walk onto this path without this community. There's going to be no walking on the path without this community. There's going to be none. There's not going to be any alternate path other than what I'm telling you all. The path to the fourth dimension is being laid by Mentellect through Ahmen. That's it. There's no path for black people. There's no conscious path. There's no we all going to come together and we all going to evolve. No, that's not going to happen. That's not. I'm telling you all this now. These people talking like that, they have already given themselves over to the beast, and they're nothing but full of folly and whatnot, and they're always exposed and revealed. They always expose and reveal themselves. They will always allow themselves to be pulled off the path by three-dimensional transmission, low-level transmission. I don't care if it's money. I don't care if it's philosophy, whatever. Your desire to talk about the past, that's nothing but a bunch of three-dimensional frequency. That's it. That's all. It's nothing but three-dimensional frequency that you have allowed yourself to be pulled off the path by. And if you allow yourself to be pulled off the path by that, if you allow yourself to be pulled off of the path by way of that, then that says a lot about who you ultimately are and who you came here to be. I told you we in a time of revelation, and everybody and everyone and everything is being revealed for exactly what they are. Those who are meant to be part of the extension and those who are meant to be part of the extinction. And Mentellect is bringing the elect who are meant to be a part of the extension. That's it. You can call us whatever you want. You can call us a cult. You can call me a cult leader all you want to. You can say all the things you want because, again, even in them saying that, they're showing you that they're part of the beast three-dimensional transmission. They letting you know that. They're letting you know just by calling me a cult leader, just by slandering me, they're letting you know they carry the mark of the beast on them. Just by them slandering this message and this transmission, they let you know who they carry the mark of the beast, because the mark of the beast produces insanity. The mark of the beast produces insanity. All right? The mark of the beast produces insanity, so they're letting you know what mark they carry on them. They're letting you know they carry that mark of insanity. They calling me a cult leader. They calling us a cult and all that, because the beast talks crazy like this. He speaks in the form of insanity, three-dimensional insanity. Right? Things that make no sense. They speak that three-dimensional insanity. And those who get into alignment with the beast and talking like that, that means they carry his mark. They carry his mark of insanity, because the mark of the beast is insanity. The mark of the beast is insanity. Mental insanity. That's his mark. That's the mark he leaves in your mind, a state of confusion, a state of indecisiveness, a state of ignorance, a state of immaturity, a state of illogical thinking. That's the mark of the beast that he leaves in your mind. All these things keep you out of the fourth dimension. All of these ways of thinking that are on his three-dimensional level keep you out of the fourth dimension and keep you out of alignment to the fourth dimension. We are moving toward that, and the only way we're going to move toward that is as a collective coming into this community and feeding off each other mentally. Feeding off each other mentally, receiving and recepting and transmitting, and basically, as they say, iron sharpening iron, steel sharpening steel, having minds like minds. The same way the beast comes together in his little think tanks. They got their little think tanks, their little intellectual, so-called pseudo-intellectual clubs like Mensa and all of these groups where they come together and they separate themselves from everybody in society, and they only hang out and be amongst their own people who are their mental peers. That's what Mentellect is. It's gathering a people who are being shaped to become those personifications into the fourth dimension. It is gathering us amongst our own mental peers. It is separating us. And one of the things I said about this COVID-19 thing, which I find to be very interesting and very telling of what we're going, you see how the beast is going to basically, lightweight, he's going to make COVID-19 a thing that's going to cast black people out. Black people are already cast out, are already considered cast outs of this society, or outcasts of this society. So now, with the pushing of the COVID-19, like they was trying to do with the whole AIDS thing and the Ebola thing, trying to attach the so-called black people to further make so-called black people outcasts in the society, you know, that's what's supposed to happen, because in all actuality, we are the outcasts. Our place is not here in the third dimension with the beast or up under them following what they talking about. We're supposed to be in alignment to a higher source, which is Ahmen. We're supposed to be separate. We're not supposed to be worshiping the same gods with them, for fearing they devils, following their philosophy, believing in what they believe in, talking about some stupid politics with them, or talking about his fake laws and his fake orders, or just falling for his COVID-19 garbage, which again, the number 19 represents separation, right? It represents separation. 1 and 9 equals 10. What I tell you, 10 represents those who are moving in the circle in the revolution, and those who are moving in a straight line in the evolution. We represent the one that move in the evolution, and the rest of you people represent the circle of revolution, which is confusion, which the beast controls. Who the god of this circle, this three-dimensional circuit, is the Luciferians. Lucifer. Cipher is circle, or circle, a cipher. The Lord of the Ring, the Lucifer. Lu is Lord, cipher is circle, the Lord of the Ring. That's the Luciferians. You belong to the beast. Those of you who want to keep this three-dimensional madness going, You want to keep this three-dimensional confusion and indecisiveness going. That's why you see so many so-called black people walking around here. They don't know where they're supposed to be, what they're supposed to be doing, what they're supposed to be part of. What they're just out here wherever the day take you, wherever my life end up at. There's plenty of this generation of young generation out here today in their teens, their 20s, their 30s. I've been watching these kids on YouTube 20 years in their 20s, and they mid-20s, late 20s, 30s, and they just, their idea of life and their place in life, they just sound confused as hell. They sound confused as hell. They don't know what their purpose is here. Even when they think they got some kind of purpose, it just still sounds like some nonsense. It's basically, if you listen to them, all they basically saying is, hey, I'm here in the world, and, I'm just experiencing things, and I'm just going through things. So basically, they're moving through this life with no direction. That's really what they're saying when they're talking about, I'm just going through life and I'm experiencing things. They're basically saying, I'm just moving through this world. I'm just being moved to this world, and whatever happens to me happens to me. If I pop up and I'm with this person, I'm with this person, I'm with that person, whatever experience I'm going through, I'm just going to go through it and endure it. Basically, you're being pushed through life with no direction. And that is the mindset of the people who are controlled by the beast, because he's the one that pushes you through this three-dimensional realm of this circular three-dimensional world with his philosophy and his beliefs to nowhere. He keeps you going in a circle of confusion to nowhere, because when you ask these people who had that mindset, I'm just in the world and, I'm just experiencing things in life, at the end of their life, they have accomplished not a goddamn thing. They have accomplished nothing. They have become nothing. They are in alignment with nothing. They die in obscurity. Nothing. But that is their lot in life. That is their lot in life. But it is not the lot of the elect, because we're going to know what we're here for. We have a direction to move in. We have a real direction to move in. We have to be in certain places at certain time frames, thinking a certain way, accepting things as they really are, not as what we want them to be, nor should we even want anything to be. We want things to be as they are. That's how we got to be thinking. And what it is that we have to be in this community, of this community, about this community, and living this community life. This is our only life. Ain't nothing else. There is nothing else. The people who think it's something else that's walking with me, don't walk with me any longer. Turn in your names tonight. Turn in your names tonight. I mean that. I'm not being dramatic. I'm being real. Because we need people that know that this is the only way through this. Because this is the only way through. So I don't want no delusional people walking with me who think, maybe if I don't make it here, I'll just go back out and goodbye. Goodbye. So let me go ahead and read this question before we get out of here. Why is Ahmen bringing the elect together in Mentellect? Because this is where we gather to receive our transmission from the fourth dimension. This is where we're supposed to gather. We're supposed to gather together as a community in the three-dimensional state. That's why there's a Republic of Mentellect. That's why there's no, whoever listens, y'all part of Mentellect. Whoever down, y'all part who want to listen and listen to the message, y'all with Mentellect. It don't work like that. I told you people, if those of you who are listening to me have no intention of joining the Republic, stop listening to me. You listening for nothing. You're listening in vain. Just go ahead and pass the broadcast on to somebody else who you think might benefit from it, but you're listening for no reason, honestly. Because this is only for the people who are of the elect. And you people outside the Mentellect are not of the elect. You're not counted. You don't count. What does Mentellect community represent? It represents the vessel into the fourth dimension. It represents this vessel into the fourth dimension, because Ahmen is sending us this knowledge. Ahmen is sending us this message. It's not coming from NUBEN MENKARAYZZ. It's coming through NUBEN MENKARAYZZ. And it ain't coming from the damn beast or anybody else. It's coming directly from our ascendants, from the future, who are pulling us into alignment right now. Right now, why are we being gathered in the third dimension? Because this is where you gather nations at, in the third dimension. Because all these other nations are gathered here, but they're not going to go anywhere. The Caucasians are gathered here, the East Indians, the Asians, they're all gathered together in the third dimension. And they got black people on the secondary level, in the second dimension as individuals. And this is why black people will never understand why they will continuously be under the beast, because they have a second dimension, a two-dimensional mind frame. They have a two-dimensional mind frame which is controlled by the beast from the third dimension. This is why we're gathering in the third dimension, and we're going to move to the fourth dimension. What is community? Community is communication and communion, meaning the shared message, the shared reception, so that we strengthen our reception and transmission. Why is the community the only thing that will extend the elect? Because it has to be harnessed into one mind, one body, and one soul. And again, you cannot have people on the same page who not in alignment together in the same thing, in the same community, living together. Community equals communication. Okay? It equals communication. So we have to communicate on a higher level. And that's it. We're going to close out in the name of Ahmen, by the power of Ahmen. And Ahmen we trust. And Ahmen we think. And Ahmen we continue forward forever. I am the intellectual leader, MENKARAYZZ. This has been Mentellect Radio. I'll see you guys back here tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. Monday at 10. Good night. We're going to close out with.
Republic of Mentellect, rising out the black race to the bright race, out the black race to the bright race. It's the Republic of Mentellect, black race to the bright race. If it's hell, Ahmen, then it's hell us. They tried everything just to spell us. Fed us religion, gave us fake gods. Through all of that, we beat the odds. Now we coming together under one flag. Colors red, gold and blue. Superman, Superwoman, that's me and you.